I know that there are people that have an aversion to, one, entering into recovery, but two, even a step further, going to an AA meeting. And one of the objections, and I think it's absolutely valid, one of the objections is a part of the AA like meeting structure is you go around, you introduce yourself. When you speak up to share, every time you say, "My name is Kyle. I'm an alcoholic." And people look at that statement alone, and I did too. You look at that statement, and it is like, I am tying to my identity being an alcoholic. I felt this when I was doing my last, chapter 3 stigma project that I worked on for 2 years. And it's one of the big reasons that I made this change. It was this realization that being an alcoholic is not my identity. It's not how I identify. However, the discipline, the actions that come from maintaining myself in recovery from alcoholism, those things are part of my identity. So discipline, like I'm a disciplined person. There's an identity piece. I care about my health. There's an identity piece. I want to work on myself, progress, not perfection. There's an identity piece. So it's like, yes, I get the resistance to the statement of I'm Kyle, I'm an alcoholic. I've gotten comfortable with it because in my mind, I know now that statement doesn't mean I solely identify as an alcoholic, but it's I'm curious because I know you've worked with a lot of people who are pursuing sobriety. I have experienced and witnessed it as a barrier. I'm curious if you felt it yourself as you started working on stepping away from alcohol, or if you've seen it in other people where it's like, yeah, but I don't like the stigma and I don't like the identity association of being an alcoholic.
Yeah, this is one that I think we could be discussing for a long, long time.
Mm-hmm.
And it is interesting because you got to find what works for you. And I have no doubt in the model and why that works, right? Like there's people that get comfortable and feel like they've made it. Um, I'm finding that to be maybe the failure of quite a few is I can do this on my own,
Oh
especially
yeah.
men.
Oh yeah.
I don't need help. I don't want to talk to anybody else. I don't want to do that. Understandable, right? But if you are struggling to hold yourself accountable, if you don't have that inner drive and the ability to put those boundaries up, I can definitely see why the AA model works for people. But what you're saying, right? Like for me personally, and this is just a different way of looking at it. And it's not that it one way's right or the other, but for me, I don't mind saying like, yeah, I'm an alcoholic, right? Like I was an alcoholic. Like if I drank, if you gave me a beer, if I opened a beer now, I'd probably drink 12 of them
Yes.
and it would
Yep.
not be good.
Yep.
So I know not to trust myself with that.
Mm-hmm.